Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series brought to you by Patranya Media LLC and Parkway Media Partners. I'm your host, Patranya Poonswan. On this episode, we're joined in the studio by some amazing people behind JFSA. We have President and CEO. His name is Ken Moskowitz. Thank you so much for joining us here. And also we have Renea Parr. You're the Director of Emergency Services at JFSA. And this organization has been around for many years. 46 years, right, Ken?
Yes, correct.
And for people who haven't heard of JFSA, talk to us briefly about what this organization is all about.
Yeah, the organization, as you said, we've been around for 46 years in the community. We're a social service agency that meets the needs of people that are struggling in their lives, and we provide a variety of services if somebody needs something, help with something. So we're available, and I don't know if you want me to get into it.
And so many types, right? From health, social services, senior services, and you work with so many organizations to kind of bring this together.
Yeah, I think what's really special and unique about JFSA is we work with across the age continuum, from pretty much from birth till the end of life. We are able to provide services to multi-generational families. What's great about us is that if somebody walks in the door with one issue, as we work with them, if there's another problem that we've determined, we can also refer them to other resources in our community. And I think what's really great about us is we really work very well with all the other social service agencies in the community.
Yeah, and one of the things that we wanted to bring you on the show is to highlight the ways that the community can give back to what you do. And one of the ways is you have a great event coming up on Sunday. We'll talk a little bit more about the Help, Hope, and Support Luncheon, which is a great event you've been doing for quite a few years now.
16 years now.
16 years. And so we'll get into that event. But first of all, and we have some pictures to show people too of some of the things that you guys do in the community. One of the big things that we have is the new thing. First of all, the breast cancer support program. That is new for JFSA.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, about a year ago, a member of of the community came to us, and through her own experiences and going through treatment, and what she noticed was that there was a lot of individuals out there struggling. People going through their own individual experience, oftentimes feeling isolated, cut off, struggling financially, between all the bills and managing home and family. And we were approached to see if we can look at what maybe gaps we can fill to meet the needs for these individuals. So we worked over the last year developing a program where we designed it to really meet the needs for those people that are struggling financially, to fill those gaps and sort of take that pressure and stress off of their lives. So we can provide some financial assistance. We provide emotional counseling, mental health. We have a support group. What we do is we work with a lot of the other cancer organizations in the community, as well as other agencies, really trying to see what the needs are and stepping in and helping them. We have a case manager, care manager that works individually with each person that comes to our door. And I think what's been great about it is that when people come to us, besides what we're able to do with the support through that program, as I mentioned, we're able to also hook them up to other services in the agency.
Yeah, and it is so great how you work together. And I know, Renea, you've been with the organization more than 10 years now. You've seen this grow. How has the change for you as you've seen JFSA back in the days into where it is today?
Well, the program growth has been tremendous. When I first started years ago, we just had a few services. But something that's always stayed with JFSA, which is what I am so passionate about it, is that our services, we want to connect with our clients. It's about building a relationship and building trust with them. And so while our services have grown and we can offer so much more than we could have in the past, the heart of who we are is that we're passionate about the people who come in. So everyone really that comes in, we are able to build that relationship with them and make sure they feel comfortable to talk about things that can be uncomfortable.
And what really kind of stood out to me, and just looking through your website and reading through your programs, is how expansive your organization does. Because, a lot of nonprofits are very specific, which is great. Like, they do what they do well. But it seems like you do a lot. So how do you kind of do all that and make sure that you reach every aspect of the community that you want to get to?
Well, we're constantly out in the community evaluating what is the need. And as the climate changes with what we're seeing in the community, that's where JFSA steps in and says, let's adjust these services a little bit. I feel like this is a great service, but it's not really meeting the needs that we're seeing at volume.
Yeah.
So we kind of make adjustments as a management team to see where do we need to shift those dollars, where do we need to shift our efforts to make sure we're meeting the constant need.
Yeah, and the challenges, I'm sure, Ken, as the president and CEO, in the past few years has just been so tough with the pandemic hitting on top of other needs that are out there. What has been your experience, and how did you kind of maybe pivot and be more flexible in terms of working with your agency to meet the needs of everyone out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Actually, during the pandemic, while a lot of organizations were shutting down just because of what was happening, we were able to really expand and adapt what we were doing to really meet the needs. So, for example, at the time before the pandemic, with our food pantry, it was more individualized, where people would come in with an appointment, and we work with them on getting their food from the pantry.
Yeah, we have some of the pictures from, you guys are out in the community. Talk to us about how that food pantry worked and how you adapted, especially in the last few years.
Yeah, so because of the precautions that we had to take, we sat down, we kind of discussed amongst ourselves what we needed to do, and we felt that to be able to continue to provide services to people without that that personal contact, we developed a drive-through. So we quickly adapted with that, where people were able to drive through the pantry, and the food was brought and put right into their trunk. And as a result of that, we saw a tremendous growth in how many people we were able to serve. During the pantry, we were serving about 5,000 to 6,000 people a month.
Oh, wow.
That were coming in for need, and we were getting more people coming to us because, as I said, a lot of other agencies were shutting down.
Yeah.
So that's what's great about our agency. I think we're really good at assessing the needs, making those adaptations as to what we need to do to continue to provide excellent service to people.
Yeah, and from a CEO's perspective, a nonprofit, and here in the show we talk to both businesses and nonprofits. But what I hear over and over with nonprofits is, like, to be able to be successful, you do have to operate it like a business, and you've seen that happen, right?
Yes, I've been in the business of non-social service nonprofit for many, many years, and my approach has always been exactly what you said. You have to run it as a business. I always say the difference being that our product is the services that we provide, and we want to be a lean, mean, fiscally responsible machine. We want to ensure that the dollars that we're receiving, whether it's from our grantors, people giving donations to the agency, know that they are getting the best bang for their buck, that their money is going to the right places, and that money is going basically back into the community.
And especially, with your Help, Hope, Support Luncheon coming up this Sunday, I mean, that's the time when you're really needing the community to come together. So talk to us about that. I mean, how are you getting the word out? Obviously, these events are great, but throughout the year, you need to be able to doing that, right? Yeah,
I mean, I think the challenge with a nonprofit social service business is helping people understand that, yes, while many organizations such as ours do get a lot of support through government and private grant funding, there's a big part of what we do. We're reliant on the support of our community.
Right.
People knowing that the dollars that they donate are going back into the community locally here, and that they know they're making a difference to help their neighbors and other people in the community. We throughout the year, we're always putting out, we have a newsletter, we're social media, we're very prevalent on social media, and more so even with this event, we've been really pushing it on social media, word of mouth, letting people know that this event is coming up, and we really are hopeful that people will turn around and support the agency.
Yeah, it's so great. And Renee, you're the director of emergency services, and you've been doing this, with the organization for some time. People don't know, what's your role? What's your key role in what you do for JFSA?
My key role is making sure that we have boots on the ground, people out in the community, finding those who are extremely in need, and making sure that we're servicing them to the best of our ability, making sure that we're building those relationships with people. Something that's different about emergency services than a lot of other services is that these people are carrying around shame about what's happening in their life, the reasons why they cannot pay those bills every month, the reasons why they cannot put food on the table for their family. That creates a lot of shame for people. So we need to be able to crack through and have some vulnerability with people. And so a lot of what I do is just making sure that I have people that are doing that, and I myself am training to make sure that that's how we're getting our story into the community.
Yeah, and you work with different organizations, right? Talk to us about some of those kind of partnerships and how you work together to make sure that you reach the community.
Yeah, we have some tremendous community partners, and we are very thankful for all those community partners. We work very closely with Clark County, with Help of Southern Nevada, even Deseret Industries, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So many people coming together to really pump this mission out and make sure that we're doing the best we can for the community. 3 Square, tremendous help to our food pantry. We wouldn't be able to provide what we can provide without all these partnerships. When we can't service that person right under our own roof, we want to make sure that we follow those clients through to another organization that can help them and see them through that, to make sure that if it's not our service that can provide the assistance they need, we're ensuring they are receiving that assistance through one of our community partners.
Is there something, or maybe a group or something that happened recently, maybe clients you work with that really kind of stuck with you this year, especially this past year, that's, been kind of transitioning for a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, that happens quite a lot. This last year specifically, I'll tell you, we got a call from a senior, a woman who lived alone. She'd been in the hospital, desperate for some food. She needed some food to her house, and we were able to jump on that and deliver with our Nutrition to Go program. And we went out to her house and we delivered the food, and she was so thankful. But moreover that, we now go and see her once every 2 weeks at a minimum. And not only have we provided her some nutrition that she really needs, but it's become socialization for this otherwise shut-in senior. And that's just one of the things that we do at JFSA is so important to us, building those relationships.
And I think, you brought up a really key point, and maybe you can expound on this, the fact that it's not just like a one-time thing that you're helping with these people. Your goal is to just create this relationship and partnership with the community that lasts, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, when we start working with somebody, our goal is to help stabilize them, get them to a point where they're able to hopefully take care of themselves, meet their own needs. Some people are more able to do that quicker than others, but as Renee had mentioned, our goal is to ensure that person has those resources that they're going to need to continue to get them back on their feet again. And I think what's great about it is the partnerships that we do have with Clark County, a lot of these other organizations, in being able to make sure that if we can't meet that need, that somebody else can.
And you talk about how your organization is really expansive, talking about generational from kids. So talk about some of the programs for children that you offer at JFSA.
Yeah, so, as I said, what's really special about JFSA is that we have programs, for example, our adoption program. We work with both birth parents as well as families looking to adopt, to try to make that connection for people that are interested in adopting. I'm happy to say that actually in the state of Nevada, we were the first agency that worked with same-sex adoptions.
Wow.
And if you ever come into the agency, you can see the wall of all the babies that over the years have been adopted through JFSA. We also have, through our behavioral services, our counseling program. People that may be dealing with some emotional things, and we work with children in that capacity, adults as well as seniors, trying to help them out. We have our educational assessment program, where we work with Clark County, the juvenile justice system, the Clark County school system, and the charter school systems, as well as privately, people that their kids may be struggling and need some assistance or need some assessments and then help in working with the schools. We are really able to provide both the educational assessment component as well as the psychological testing, and together we are able to really provide some good recommendations and support that family and the kids in the school system.
Yeah.
So that's with kids.
There's so much going on, and so much that you're doing.
Yeah, and then I always say through our emergency services, we are always helping children, because those families that are struggling, paying that bill, keeping the lights on, utilities.
It affects everyone in the family.
Yeah, and the food, food. So, we're able to really provide that which helps the family and ultimately the child as well.
Yeah, and Renee, you're out there in the community and you see all these organizations. A lot of them, maybe are dealing with challenges. I'm sure you are too. What are some of the challenges that you guys are still facing that the community may need to kind of know? It's like, hey, this is where I can step in to help.
Well, the challenge is always, when it comes to funding versus the need. The need is so great in our community right now. The challenge is, how far can we stretch these dollars while still impacting this family and creating the solution
Yeah.
for their life, because really the mission of JFSA is to provide services for people of all backgrounds in times of need, whatever that need is. And so I think the challenge is really always just keeping up with the best way that we can, funding with services needed. So many people have a challenge. There are so many people struggling with what's happening, the climate of the community and inflation and how expensive things are coming off of that pandemic, where so many people's life turned upside down. They don't have the job they had before, or their job looks different. It is a struggle for a lot of these families just to keep the lights on. And so that we see that daily.
Yeah, and part of it is getting the message out there and getting people to know. So what's kind of been the most successful way that people are learning about you and coming out and getting the services? What are you seeing out there?
Well, I think the most successful way for us is just being in the community speaking. People can really see our
And telling your
passion.
story.
When you come to JFSA and you come, I always invite people, please come to the organization, ask for me, I'll show you around, I'll show you the people that are actually doing the work, the passion and the dedication and the heart that is at our facility. You'll see by the time you leave.
Yeah, and the organization, Ken, you said you've been around for 46 years now, but I'm sure things are very different now. Talk to us about, what is working now, or how are you approaching the community differently when it comes to getting the support that you need?
Yeah, I mean, the agency has certainly gone through major transformations, more so in the last few years.
Yeah.
I think, again, the partnerships that we've developed, for example, with our funders, our local county, the state, even the federal government, I'm proud to say that oftentimes when there is funding available, our funders reach out to us, knowing the work that we've done, knowing that we've done it responsibly, knowing that we are making an impact, and that's great to know when you have that kind of a connection with people that have funding and they want to give it to you.
Yeah.
I think for us it's letting people know that we are here. We are starting to make that presence known, that we do service everybody, regardless of their background, and through social media, we're starting to get more presence in our social media, through the website, and I think again word of mouth. We get a lot of calls from people that are saying, "Hey, I heard about you from a friend of mine that benefited from your assistance. Can you do something for me?" So I think the combination of all that stuff and these opportunities, getting out there and letting people know and hearing firsthand what we are, who we do, and how we do help.
And of course, holiday season coming up, that's when people tend to give. Right. And great news for you guys. Talk to us about this new partnership with Giving Machine, because that's really wonderful.
Yeah, we are really excited to be a part of the Giving Machine in downtown Summerlin this year. You have to be invited to apply for that opportunity, and we did. And we're really excited to be one of 5 to be in that machine. So definitely you want to come out and see us at the Giving Machine. Talk to us about how
that works. People
so the Giving Machine, it's a vending machine. It's a vending machine created by an organization called Light the World, which is hosted by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They put these out every Christmas, and they're vending machines. And you can literally walk up to the machine and choose what you want from the vending machine. And those are opportunities to give back. Yeah. So for JFSA, you might be purchasing an eye exam for one of our seniors, or somebody who's been unsheltered that we've recently housed who needs these services. You might be choosing something along the lines of a heart monitor machine, a blood pressure machine, a blood pressure cuff is what it is.
So you can pick and choose how
you can pick and choose.
That's awesome.
From $5 all the way up to $250. The donation is your choice. And it's such a beautiful opportunity to give services to clients in need that might not otherwise be funded.
And I think that's how people want to be able to know, right? If they're going to give their money and their time or whatever to an organization, is to see where this money goes.
And these dollars go 100% back to that service. So 100% of what we get, when you buy that for that tile, you choose that out of the vending machine, that's 100% what it's going to purchase.
Yeah, and we want to pull up this link for this event coming up on Sunday too, because that's a great chance for people to still buy tickets to come. So again, this is called Help, Hope, Support. It's a luncheon that's happening at Red Rock Country Club this coming Sunday, and we have a link to that we wanted to show people. But Ken, talk to us about that, because you've had this event for a while. about. Talk to us about what happens there, what can people see, what can people do, and why is this so special for your organization?
Yeah, I mean, this is our major fundraiser that we have each year. It's really grown over the last couple of years, even more so. It's an opportunity for people to, hear about JFSA, the great work that we do, but it's also our opportunity to acknowledge agencies and organizations or individuals in our community who are also making a difference. So this year we are working, on because of the breast cancer support program, acknowledging individual agencies and organizations that are also working in that area. And then, it's a fun time. There's opportunity for silent and live auction. It's a nice meal that you get. Just an opportunity to interact and relate and connect to others in our community who are, have the same passion of giving back and helping people.
Yeah, and it's a lot of time. It's a lot of fun, right? People get to come and
you've been to
absolutely, it is. It's a blast. It really is. It's laid back. It's, our whole organization has that feel of like a family approach, from the way we staff-wise, or I should say team member-wise, we relate, interact, and help each other, to how we relate to the people we serve, to, those people that we interact with on the professional level. The feedback we have gotten is that it's just a really nice event that people come to and just enjoyable.
Yeah, Renee, what do you want to tell people if they're thinking of coming and to come support? What do you want to tell them?
Well, absolutely, you should come. You should come just to socialize and meet people and really hear about the organization, right? If you want to go and have a good time on a Sunday afternoon, that's the place to be. There's going to be a lot of people to speak with, a lot of new people to meet, and hear about the organization. And the Giving Machine, we'll have some information about that there as well. And I think that something really important about that event, where we're hoping to raise some money to really help our clients, is the value of your dollar at JFSA. Not only do you get to socialize and have a good time, but if you donate to our organization, the value of your dollar goes right back into direct services.
And they get to hear stories, right, of people personally affected by your
Sure,
organization.
absolutely, because I think that's what really helps people understand what's going on and the need out there. And I think that's what motivates people to give, when they hear what your dollar that you're giving is going to do for somebody to make that difference.
Yeah, and you all have been doing great work, almost 50 years now, which is pretty amazing, right here in Southern Nevada. Again, we are talking with the president and CEO of JFSA, Ken Moskowitz, and also Renea Parr. She's the director of emergency services. They're holding a great event coming up this Sunday. It is called Help, Hope, Support Luncheon. And where can people find more information, Ken?
Again, they can go to our website, jfsalv.org, or they can call our agency at 702-732-0304.
You got that number down. Awesome.
I do, yeah, with all the phone numbers.
Thank you so much, Ken, for coming on, and Renee, to you as well. Best of luck on this Sunday. Thank you so much for coming on and talk to us.
Thank you
so much for having us. Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening for this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series. I'm Patranya Media, and we'll see you again next time.